Hello, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss another method of Python, which is isdecimal. So, why we use isdecimal method? So, this method is used to verify whether the passed string or the provided variable contains only decimal value or not. So, basically, it will return the boolean value, which could be either a true or a false. So if it is returning true, it means the entire string contains only decimal values. But if it is returning false, then it means it does not contain only decimal value. There are some other character which are non-decimals. Okay, so it will return boolean value. Now, what is boolean value? Boolean value is either true or false, but it will check if the thing is decimal, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Now, what is decimal? So decimal it considered as a numbers from 0 to 9. Other than this, everything is considered as a non-decimal thing. Even a dot. If you are using 3.2, then in that case also it will consider as a non-decimal because this is not contain of 0 to 9. Okay, so this thing we will discuss with scenario. So let's start with the first scenario. In first scenario, we are storing the string as 1 2 3 4 5 and all the numbers are decimal. So when we use this method, so to use this method you just need to write string dot is decimal. So what it will do, it will verify and it will find that all the numbers are decimal, so it will return true. And let's check the output. I'm pressing Ctrl S and then I'm pressing Ctrl Shift and tilde to open my terminal, and here I will use the command python space session 34, just a second, session 34 dot py. So it will show all the output. We will discuss one by one. So first output is true because it contains only numbers, right? That's why it is returning true. Now in case scenario 2, we are using numbers but with some extra white spaces or blank spaces. So blank spaces is not considered as a decimal. That's why it is returning false. So you can see all other options are returning false. Why? That thing we will discuss with scenarios. So you can see in the third scenario, it contains 1 2 3, but along with that there are ABC as well. So ABC is not a decimal. That's why it is returning false here. Now if we talk about the fourth scenario, we are not passing anything. But if we are not providing anything, first of all it need one character, and if it is not there, then it will be considered as a non-decimal because there should be one character. If you hover on this method, it will show a string is decimal string if all characters in the string are decimal and there is at least one character in the string. Otherwise it will be considered as a non-decimal value. Now we will discuss about the fifth scenario. Here you can see we are using 3.14. So 0.14314 is fine, but this point or this dot is not a decimal things, so that's why it is returning false. Okay, now in sixth scenario, we are using numbers with some sign values, right? Here you can see we are writing -123. So this minus is considered as a non-decimal and that's why it is also returning false. If we talk about the seventh scenario, here we are using some expression like 1 by 2. So if you remember in our previous sessions, we discussed about the is numeric method. It returns true if we are providing this mathematical 1 by 2. But here in is decimal, it will return false. It will not consider it as a true because this is not a decimal value. So this is the only difference between is numeric and is decimal, that it accept the superscript value, subscript value and mathematical operation like 1 by 2, but here in is decimal it is not allowed. Similarly on line number 44, you can see that we are assigning superscript value and it is also returning false because this is not a decimal. Decimal means 0 to 9 only. Other than this, everything will be considered as a non-decimal. Now on ninth scenario, you can see we are using some expression 0x abcd, which is also not a decimal and it is returning false. So only one scenario is there where it is returning true because that scenario contains only numbers, and other than this everything will be considered as a non-decimal value. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this session. In the upcoming session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Texture With.